Hey everyone, welcome to What's the Function. I'm your host, John Firth, and today I am joined by Chris Wolin. He heads up our CX team, division, group. What exactly do you do here at FSI, Chris?
Yeah, good question. It might be a better question to ask, what don't we do on the client experience team? So yes, I'm Chris Wolin, director of the client experience team here at FSI. Our primary goal is to build strong relationships with our clients. And how do we do that? A myriad of ways, really. It starts with communication, consistent and strong communication with our clients. This is anything from day-to-day operations where it comes to service requests through our service desk, or things that go above and beyond that. So if you need something that's not included in your day-to-day support agreement, let's say, and you need to collaborate with other departments, then we also facilitate that communication. So it's really starts with communication, building strong relationships.
And what does
But there's a lot
CX
more to
stand
it,
for?
really.
Exactly.
Stands for client experience. So traditionally, you would hear this called account management, or maybe customer success or client success. The term has evolved in the industry over the past handful of years, but it's a methodology, it's a mentality, it's a culture. It's more than just account management.
Yeah, I mean, here at FSI, you guys help with coordinating strategic planning. You help coordinate escalation assistance. You help coordinate everything from laptop orders all the way through like large scale deliveries of projects. It's actually a huge part. It's kind of the heart of FSI, right? To ensure that our clients are getting what they need and really still aligning to our strategic pillars, customer connected and innovation and all of the other things. We have like 6 now, I think, but it is at the core of your team to ensure that the client experience is number one or best in class, or that's our goal, right?
Correct. And it's not just about communicating. It's not a one-way street, right? It's a partnership, right? So you mentioned strategic planning. That's a huge one. So that goes above and beyond the day-to-day operations of your break fix request with the service desk, fix my printer, right? Aligning with your company's business drivers. What is your organization trying to do, right? So making sure that what we are doing for you all, what we're recommending, the technologies, the services, everything that we offer aligns with where your organization is going. So collaborating with our solutions architect team, for instance. So if you're one of our MSP customers, every year, at least once per year, we're doing a strategic business review. So that's partly a arbitrary assessment, but there's also a lot of discussion that goes back and forth as well. So we help to facilitate that with solutions team, with the sales folks as well, so that everyone is collaborating all along the path of serving the client's needs.
And in my experience, your team has a more intimate knowledge of the business for our individual clients, whereas we have our solutions architects, and while they jump in and they do know the business drivers, you guys are the team that really is holding on to that and distributing that out to my different teams, right, on sales or solutions architecture, and really allowing us to know, hey, there's an issue that this client has that you guys could fix, or have you thought about implementing Intune here, or you haven't used Teams but you're paying for the license. Your team does a really good job of enabling those conversations and really pushing them forward.
That's correct. Getting feedback from all the way through, again, the day-to-day through the strategic planning is important. So assessing feedback, how do we do that? Another aspect of client experience and what we look at, what we monitor for our clients. So surveys are a big part of it. So if we see particular problems arising in the service desk, Smileback surveys that we use, we can use that for ammunition to drive, okay, you have problems in your environment, you have pain points, your user base are having issues with certain things. We can see that in the feedback loops, right? We're also doing assessing feedback at basically every engagement that we have with our clients. So it's not just on a ticket basis with the service desk. Anytime a client experience manager, which are the resources on my team, interacts with one of our clients, we're sending them a survey.
Mhm.
You know, how are we doing? You know, what are your pain points? What can we do for you to help you achieve more?
And I
After
know
projects as
yeah,
well. Like,
that's a
you want to
big
cut me off, but there's like 3 or 4 other surveys that we
yeah,
send,
I
right?
was gonna
So,
say there's a lot of surveys that you guys send out.
mhm,
You know, everybody knows I run projects, or well, I oversee the running of projects, I guess, somehow, like in the layers
mhm,
deep down there. That's where projects are. And my team works with your team a ton on just project work, right? And
correct.
knowing um, how to help our clients. Really, like project work is not about getting projects or doing projects. It's really about driving business values for our clients and aligning, the different Microsoft products that we're experts at implementing to their needs, right? We're not going to say, oh, go get Dynamics if they don't need a CRM, and we're not going to tell them like develop something custom in Power Platform if they're not even in Microsoft 365. So we really rely on your team to give us that information, and then that funnels through the solutions architecture, through sales, and then eventually all the way down to our project staff.
Right.
So it's super helpful, and then you guys send out these surveys, and then that allows this feedback loop to really start, and it's impressive. And I think that we've come a long way with that. And I know that we're still ramping up on a lot of these surveys and getting them out to more people, and actually trying to get a wider variety of input. Right, we're trying to get more people to complete these surveys so that we can just keep improving our service.
That's correct. So targeted groups, smile back surveys at the ticket level, the user level, but then we also send out the project surveys. We also want to target our stakeholders with
Mhm.
the companies, with the clients that we work with. So we have a targeted quarterly survey that we'll send out just to the C-level folks, your white glove users,
Mhm.
as we call them, folks who have literally stake in the company and the direction that it's heading. So we want to make sure we're capturing all those categories, right? Because you're going to get very different perspectives sometimes not, but oftentimes, the C-level and the user level and middle management all have different expectations, different perceptions of what we do and how we interact with each of those categories. So it is important at every level to capture that.
And some clients may not, they may think that we offer a service that we don't, or that maybe they don't know that there's a service that we do offer. And I think that actually happens quite frequently, or more frequently than the opposite of that, which is, they don't realize that we're a full stack Microsoft shop, or that they don't necessarily realize, hey, you guys do Microsoft Teams rooms, or you guys are, if you watch this podcast, we've already been talking about Microsoft Places, and I was just showing that to you earlier.
Mhm.
We're on the cutting edge of these things. And it's your team that really is the first step in getting that in front of people to see and experience and really talk about. It's actually a lot of fun to see how an idea goes from like our research and development internally all the way through this pipeline. It takes a long time. It takes a lot longer than I ever thought it would. But it's because we're sitting there and we're perfecting things and we're trying to get feedback. And, every project, like you said, you're getting survey results, and we are continuously improving and continuously developing our processes, procedures, and everything. Yeah. So there's a lot of features that your team, might have, or might capabilities that your team has that, people might not notice or utilize. Something like the booking links, for instance. You guys all have booking links in the bottom of your email. You're able to be contacted in a quick meeting scheduled. I think that it's like 30 minutes or something. I'm not sure. Of course, it can be extended. But we're really trying to break down the barriers between client communication and our individual staff, right? Whether that be through the surveys like we're talking about,
Mhm.
or quick bookings, or, some of those other things. So what would you like everybody to know, our clients and otherwise? What are some of the things that you guys handle that maybe they don't realize?
Right. Well, we're here for you. We're here to help with literally anything. If we don't know the answer, we know exactly who to go to
Yeah.
get it. Going back to the bookings link and then our signatures, that's not the only thing you'll find in our signatures. You just talked about all this content and the feedback loops, and we have a great marketing team that puts a lot of content out there on LinkedIn and YouTube. Go
Mhm.
check it out. This will be there as well, LinkedIn and YouTube. So letting our clients know that it's there,
Mm-hmm.
right? not everyone has the time in their day to go, doom scroll through LinkedIn posts. We do it because we find a lot of value in it, but we also want our clients to know that too. So you will find things in our signatures like a bookings link. That means you can literally book with us anytime. There are some configurable things there, so we can set some limits. So we have some structure around that. But like for me, usually 24 hours notice, you can book, 30 minutes, an hour right on my calendar. We also have cadence meetings with our clients, checkpoint meetings. Could be monthly, could be weekly, really depends on volume, what's going on right then and there with your environment, with your business.
I know if y'all are on project
flexibility
meetings,
to talk
for
to
instance,
us all the time. Right? We're all busy, but we want to provide that flexibility to our clients that, we're there for you. I mean, I even have, sometimes spontaneous calls from clients, and if I'm available, I'll answer, right? We can answer cold calls, within reason. So our availability really is for our clients at all times. We are here to serve.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I know everybody on your team. I work with them. I work with you, and we have a great experienced team, and we call it that for a reason, because we want to give the best experience possible. And the only thing that I can do is really with this podcast, and what I wanted to get out there is, leverage our services and leverage our people to get what you need. Right. We have a lot of IT services that we offer. We have the giant wheel that, if you haven't seen it yet, like you said, it's on our LinkedIn and our YouTube and our Facebook, and I think it's everywhere at this point. So we have it everywhere. But
our team's backgrounds.
Yeah, our team's backgrounds. We literally have a great service offering and across multiple segments. And your team is really a easy entry point to find out what we can and can't do, whether you're a client or not a client. If you become a client, then you get access to your team constantly. Every single person or every organization that is a client of FSI has a CXM attached to them to be able to field these requests and really help out. And I wanted to bring you, and I'm glad that you finally we've arranged this. Been trying for a while. We finally got it all together. Because it's so important, because we haven't talked about it, and because I find that some other MSPs don't have that cadence or aren't asking for the feedback like we are. I think it's a thing that we're very keen on, is ensuring that we're getting the best client feedback possible and constantly improving, constantly adding more surveys. Like you said, I think there's 5 or 6, or I don't even know anymore.
Constantly growing. The main point is, after every engagement you have with FSI, we aim to ask for feedback, not just ask for it and hopefully receive it, but utilize it to make sure we are continually improving, aligning our services, our people with what our clients need and want.
And that's the final takeaway that I want to say here is, reach out to your CX team. They're amazing. They really are amazing. And they're all very knowledgeable people. That's another thing that I'll give kudos to. I believe that our CX team, CX in other organizations, not usually very technical. Our CX team actually has some decent technical chops. I mean, they might not know the answers to the in-depth engineering questions, but they definitely know our Microsoft stack, and they definitely know like how it works. And like, we eat our own dog food here, so that's right. The better or worse, they know it. They know the products that they love, and they definitely know the products that they hate. But reach out, communicate. Those open lines of communication are there, and I'm glad that you were able to come on and really just rehash that and tell everybody that.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me, John.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Chris, and look forward to having you again. Maybe we'll talk about some project work or something. I don't know. Like, how does our entire project management workflow work? I don't know.
Yes, since I provide some oversight to the PM team as well, I'd be glad to do that.
Yeah, sounds great. All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining us on What's the Function. I'm your host, John Firth. Once again, thank you for Chris Wolin for coming out and talking to us about how client experience really helps your organization and what the function of it is. Thanks again.
Thanks.